The Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Mavericks and the Timberwolves was an absolute thriller.
It's going to be fun, man. You know, my matchup going to be Kyrie, so that's going to be fun. We're going to see what I can do versus him.
Yeah.
And he said it again. He said, I got Kyrie.
Yeah.
That's the most aggressive you've been in a long time.
Yes, sir.
I know that had to irk you a little bit.
Use it as a motivation.
Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic delivered standout performances, showcasing why they're one of the most dynamic duos in the league. Anthony Edwards brought his A-game for the Timberwolves, but the Mavericks' defensive consistency and strategic moves proved to be the difference maker. And that leads us to analyze the key moments, the performances of the players that provoked each other, and also discuss what this game means for the rest of the series. But before we dive in, it's worth noting that 93.9% of you watching right now aren't subscribed to the channel. If you enjoy this kind of content, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It helps out a ton and is very much appreciated. Now, let's get into it. Going into this game, there was a lot of talk, especially after Anthony Edwards made his bold claim about handling Kyrie. Well, Kyrie didn't just respond, he dominated. With 30 points on 52.2% shooting, Kyrie showed flashes of his prime, controlling the tempo and making crucial plays when it mattered the most. His ability to stay calm under pressure and lead the team was evident throughout the game. Kyrie wasn't just scoring. He was facilitating and making sure everyone was involved. His leadership on the court, combined with his experience in high-stakes games, clearly rubbed off on his teammates. The chemistry between Kyrie and Luka Doncic was on full display. Luka, with his 33 points, 8 assists, and 3 steals, complemented Kyrie perfectly. Luka's playmaking and clutch shooting in the fourth quarter were instrumental in securing the win. Seeing Kyrie and Luka work together like this makes me believe that we might be witnessing the formation of an unstoppable duo. Their combined skills and basketball IQ make them a nightmare for any defense. But it wasn't just the Mavericks' dynamic duo that made waves in Game 1. Despite the tough loss, Edwards had a solid performance, but below the 40 point that the NBA is used to seeing. He played for nearly 41 minutes, putting up 19 points, grabbing 11 rebounds, and dishing out 8 assists. Edwards showed why he's considered one of the brightest young talents in the league. His ability to knock down shots from beyond the arc and drive to the basket kept the Timberwolves in the game. Edwards' confidence was clear, especially after his bold statement about taking on Kyrie. While he didn't outshine Kyrie, his competitive spirit and determination were evident. He hustled on both ends of the court, making some crucial defensive plays and showing resilience. Even though he struggled with his shooting efficiency, going 6 for 16 from the field, his overall impact on the game was significant. But the big question remains: can Edwards elevate his level of performance throughout the series, and will it be enough to turn the tide for the Timberwolves? Personally, I don't doubt it. Based on what we saw in the series against the Nuggets, anything can happen. However, while Edwards was a key player for the Timberwolves, it was the Mavericks' defensive consistency that truly made the difference. Defense wins championships, and Dallas showcased just how true that is in Game 1. The Mavericks' ability to make critical stops, especially in the second half, was a game changer. They managed to contain Minnesota's offensive threats and forced them into taking difficult shots. Luka Doncic, often criticized for his defense, stepped up in a big way. He had 3 steals and was actively disrupting passing lanes, making it difficult for the Timberwolves to find any rhythm. It wasn't just Luka, though. The entire team showed great defensive coordination, particularly in crunch time. One standout moment was when the Mavericks doubled down on Anthony Edwards, forcing him into tough situations and limiting his scoring opportunities. Their rotations were on point, and they effectively closed out on shooters, holding Minnesota to a lower shooting percentage in the second half. This kind of defensive effort is what separates good teams from great ones. The Mavericks proved they could lock down when it matters most, giving them a significant edge as the series progresses. But a great defense needs to adapt and anticipate. How did the Timberwolves react to this intense pressure, and what changes might they make moving forward? Let's talk about Minnesota's response and their potential adjustments for the next games. The Timberwolves, despite the loss, showed they are a resilient team. Anthony Edwards set the tone with his aggressive play, and the rest of the team followed suit. However, the Mavericks' defensive pressure exposed some weaknesses that Minnesota will need to address. One area of concern was their shot selection under pressure. The Timberwolves took a lot of contested shots, especially in the second half, which contributed to their lower shooting percentage. To counter this, they will need to focus on better ball movement and finding open looks. Edwards, for all his efforts, can't do it alone. Players like Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert will need to step up and provide consistent scoring support. Minnesota's defense also needs to tighten up, particularly in containing the dynamic duo of Kyrie and Luka. They struggled to stop penetration and allowed too many easy baskets in the paint. Adjustments such as more aggressive double teaming and quicker rotations could help disrupt the Mavericks' offensive flow. The Timberwolves have shown they can compete, but to turn this series around, they need to make strategic adjustments and maintain their intensity throughout the game. Game 2 will be a crucial test of their ability to adapt and respond. And talk about the Game 2. What can we expect from both teams? For the Mavericks, continuing their defensive intensity will be key. They need to ensure that Kyrie and Luka keep playing at their current level, while also getting contributions from other players to maintain a balanced attack. Dallas will likely focus on tightening up their perimeter defense even more to prevent Minnesota from getting hot from beyond the arc. They might also look to push the pace, taking advantage of their athleticism and the playmaking abilities of their star players. On the other side, the Timberwolves will need to address their offensive struggles. Finding more efficient ways to score against a tough Mavericks defense will be critical. They might look to get Karl-Anthony Towns more involved in the offense, using his versatility to create mismatches. Additionally, improving their shot selection and ball movement will be vital to breaking down Dallas's defense. Defensively, Minnesota needs to find a way to disrupt the Mavericks' rhythm. They could implement more aggressive defensive schemes, like blitzing Kyrie and Luka, to force the ball out of their hands and make other players beat them. Game 2 will be a real test of both teams' ability to adapt and execute their game plans under pressure. It's going to be interesting to see which team can impose their will and take control of the series. So after this, a few things stood out to me. Kyrie Irving looks like he's in prime form. His leadership on the court and ability to make big plays under pressure reminded me of his best years. If he continues to play at this level, the Mavericks will be incredibly hard to beat. Kyrie's calm demeanor and Luka's relentless drive are a perfect combination. I believe the key to this series will be how well Minnesota can adjust their game plan. They have the talent to push Dallas, but they need to be smarter with their shot selection and more cohesive on defense. This series will be fascinating to watch, and I can't wait to see how it plays out. So, what do you think? Who's going to win this series? Will it be the Mavericks with their dynamic duo of Kyrie and Luka? Or will the Timberwolves make the necessary adjustments and come out on top? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.